Hello, I'm out here testing the Survival Bushpoint. This is the finished product. There is no rolled edges, there's no chips or anything in this blade after that abuse. Me beating into that log, me beating into that frozen birch tree, seasoned birch, that there, is a very, very good test for strength. It didn't hurt this, it's not warped in any way, and it performed very well. So that's a plus. I also wanted to test the edge to see if it's going to chip, because those knots and such I'm chopping into, that's hard, and that can chip a blade. This is working great. Now, this is my design. I designed a survival knife that fits my needs up here in my wilderness. If I got lost and only had this blade, I should be able to survive if I have the materials around me. Now, I designed this to be a light chopper to medium chopper. It's not a hatchet, it's not a big machete, but I take my lanyard, I put it through my thumb, wrap around your hand like this, and then grip right here. You can grip up here if you want to chop as well, but for chopping, I grip right around here and then hold on. That gives me a lot more weight and power out here so I can chop. This right here, this lanyard, it cannot slip out of your hand with your lanyard set up like this, because it just pushes into here. You will not lose your knife when you use your lanyard like this. So you can just beat on that, and I designed it to take down to 2 to 3 inch trees, so if I want to make a shelter, I can. I can also gather firewood with it. Those branches, 1.5 inches or so, great firewood. So I've used the prototype for a couple months now, and I've taken trees, like this. Takes a little bit more work than you would with an axe, but a lot of times people only carry a knife when they go hunting and so on, or even fishing. So it's a very good carry for an all-around type knife. Now with the prototype, it's very, very similar to this, and I've actually done a lot of fine carving with it. I've carved a spoon with it. I've carved, many, many things with the prototype, and so far this is working just as well. I've made this blade to have many features in it. This top notch up here is also for a ferro rod, up to a 1/2 inch ferro rod. Now the bottom one, it's not sharpened, so it's not meant for a ferro rod. I designed the top one so the cutting edge is away from you when you actually do your scraping. I mentioned fine carving, and like I said, this here has an asymmetrical grind on it, so it has this super, super fine edge on it. And believe me, until you try one of these, it's pretty amazing how they work. I'm going to bring this in and show you how fine I can make this curl. This is working great, and has a couple other features as well that I want to share. Now this here is the Survival Bushpoint. I designed this for myself and others that cannot have a loaded weapon or even a weapon at camp at night. Now, I figured if I'm out in the woods and I'm lost or stranded, and I only have a knife, I carry more, a lot of people don't. But if I only had a knife and I hear a bunch of coyotes moving in, this is how I'm going to have to defend myself. With the survival bush point, I designed this so you have removable scales. You can use a coin, you can use many different items to take these screws out. And then you have a blade that you can haft into a spear. That increases your odds a lot if you have a spear out there, because then you have the weight for slashing, stabbing. This has a piercing tip. Now this is not for prying and it's not for throwing. This is a defensive blade for a spear, for slashing and stabbing. You can see that it has a fine tip for that purpose. But you're not going to stick this in wood and try to pry sideways, or you're going to probably snap the tip like 90% of knives will. So this is meant to fashion into a spear and have a defensive weapon if need be, if you're lost or stranded out there. That was a bonus feature for this. That is why it has these notches, one on both sides, comes down and is shaped that way. That way there, I can tie it tight, tie it all the way down, and it secures very well into a shaft. That was one of the really important features of this survival bush point. So there it is. It has roughly a 7-inch blade, 5-inch handle, and I use 3 different areas on this handle. Like I said, I'll wrap this around, and that there is my chopping. Now I can grip it up here as well. Fits very good in my hand. But I can put my hand just like this. So if I grip that like that up over, my finger kind of fits in that groove there. And here you can see it kind of goes in there. And I can get very close to my work. I'm still not touching the edge, but I can get very close for as much power as possible if I need it for cutting. So it basically has 3 really nice areas to grip. The steel in this knife is a A36 high carbon steel. It goes through a 12-hour specialized heat treat for this blade. Now blade steels to me don't mean a whole lot as long as it does what I need it to do. I have a big thing on sharpening knives. I do not want a knife that I have to take a file to sharpen. I don't want a knife that I have to spend hours to try to sharpen it. I need something that I can have in the bush, that I can take a stone from the river and sharpen. This one here, you can do that. That is why a 1095 is a very nice blade in my opinion, because you can sharpen it with a river stone. Sharpening out in the field with just a stone or what you have is very important in a survival knife in my opinion. So this here is a A36 high carbon steel, and I'm going to put a link down below to his website. It explains what they do to the steel, why they do it, and the results. So it's pretty cool. And like I said, it's holding up great, and that's all that matters to me. Now the sheath, that was designed to have many functions as well. You can see it's nice and wide. Now you can put different carries of equipment on here, Altoids tin in a pouch. You can put many different things. You can put another knife on here. There's many different things you can do with that. Now it also has the paracord. Just that's what I'm using for belt loops, just paracord. So you can wrap this so you can put it on a side carry, you can put it on a chest carry, whatever you like. You can do whatever you want with this as long as you strap it up with the paracord so you can do so. Now this here, the blade just goes in, snaps in. Now it will not come out. It doesn't rattle. Very nice fit. This one was a little tight when I first got it, but I used a hair dryer across here and that loosened it up for me. Now some people might like a super tight grip, and that's how they come, in my opinion. It was super tight, pull in, pull out, and it is not moving. I just loosened it a little bit and it's a lot better for myself. Kydex is a non-care type of material. That's why I chose this. I don't have to worry about any kind of protectants and so on with this sheath. And it's tough, it's rugged, and it also, if you get it wet, it dries very quick because water just runs right off of it. It also has a drain hole right here, so that's an added bonus. And on the back right here, I have a sharpening stone, ceramic sharpening stone. Now, also, I wanted to say that Reptile Tool Works in Kentucky is the ones making these for me. They're going to have a link on their website where you can go and you can order these. And also, there's going to be only 25 of these available to purchase before Christmas. They're going to be around the $150 US dollar range. And these are hand forged blades. Now, you may see a little, cracks in between the slab and such. These are rustic. It's meant as a tool. It's hand forged. They're not perfect, as in all the seams and such, but does it matter to me? No. It's just gotta work. It's not a type of knife that you want pretty. You're gonna pay, $400 for a custom knife. This is hand forged custom knife for only $150 US dollars. I wanted to try to get that as budget friendly as possible so people can enjoy these and they may save a life. So thanks for watching. I'll bring out more videos showing how to make it into a spear, different tasks around and such, but I also have some clips that I'm going to put in pictures that Hank from Reptile Tool Works butchered a deer with the sister knife of this. The same type of knife, he butchers a deer, and I'll put some pictures in behind this clip. Thanks a lot and take care. I'm rather excited about this.